The Magic Thief, Chapter 32. I went straight back to the dark alleyway where my Locus Magicalicus was hidden. The cave of ice had frozen around it, so I had to paw it out of the snow onto the ground. Then I put my front paws on it and thought the reversed Embaro spell. In the darkness, my Locus Stone gave a feeble glow. Almost all the magical being was imprisoned in the Underlord's device. I thought through the reverse Embaro again. Slowly, I changed back. Part of me cat, part of me boy. I said the spell over and over again until every claw and whisker had disappeared. And the tail. When I looked up, morning had come. On my arm was a long, bloody gash from one of the rat's teeth. It stung, but it hadn't bled much. Stiff from crouching, I got to my feet and put my Locus Magicalicus in my coat pocket. Overhead, clouds hung low and gray, and flecks of snow blew down the street beyond the alley. I peered around the corner. Nobody was about. I wasn't sure what to do. The best thing would be to go to Nevery and try to convince him that I'd seen the device. But Nevery... I took a shuddery breath. Nevery was furious with me, and he wouldn't believe anything I told him. I didn't have time to argue with him. I could try going to Brumby, but what could he do? He'd wring his hands and worry, and then he'd call a meeting of the Magisters. And besides, Pettibox had told the other Magisters that I was Crow's spy. Drats! Then I remembered what Rowan had told me. Her mother, the Duchess, was clever. She knew something was going on. I had a feeling she would listen to me if I told her about the Underlord's device. That decided, I headed for the Dawn Palace. I ran as fast as I could from the twilight, across the night bridge, and up the hill toward the Dawn Palace, stopping now and then to catch my breath, then running again. It was early morning and barely light, and the streets were deserted. Too quiet. The magic level had gotten so low even people who weren't wizards could feel it, and they'd shut themselves up inside their snug houses, frightened of what was happening outside. Finally, I got to the Dawn Palace. As I crunched down the icy driveway, my breath steaming in the air, the two guards on duty at the main doors caught sight of me. One of them was Farn, the guard from the cells, the one who'd given me the flister. He started down the steps toward me. I stopped. Farn called over his shoulder to the other guard. "Tell Captain Kern that the wizard's thief is here." He ran a few steps, then reached out to grab me. The Duchess wasn't expecting me this time, I realized. Curse it. Kern had warned me not to come back or she'd throw me in the cells again. She'd chain me up and force me to drink Flister. She sure as sure wouldn't let me talk to the Duchess. I ducked under Farn's reaching hand. He lunged after me, slipped on the ice and fell. "Come back here, you," he grunted, getting to his feet. Two more guards burst out of the front door of the palace and hurried down the stairs. I backed away. "Tell the Duchess to send men to the Twilight," I shouted. "The Underlord is stealing Welmet's magic." I didn't have time for more. Farn lurched after me again, and the other guards reached the bottom of the steps. They chased me out the front gate and down the hill, shouting. One of them split off from the others to cut down another street. I pelted down the hill as fast as I could, went around corners, down alleyways, still heard the shouting. They had plenty of men to call on, and they knew this part of the city better than I did. Finally, I got clear and ducked into a cellar coal hole. Trying to catch my breath, I crouched in the darkness. My legs quivered with tiredness from all the running. Outside, the chase faded into the distance. After a while, I climbed out of the coal hole and into a deserted alleyway. I had to get back to Heartsease. Maybe Nevery would listen. Keeping my head down and my scarf wrapped around my face, I eased along a street of closed-up shops. I turned a corner, and someone grabbed me and yanked a black bag down over my head. Nevery's journal. Trying to work, distracted. Bennett so certain that Boy not a spy. Bennett a good man, not easily fooled. Decided to try scrying for Boy. Expected to see him with Crow. Scrying globes sensitive to presence of magic. Boy's Locus Magicalicus magical abilities should make him appear bright as a shooting star against a night sky within scrying globe. Polished largest globe with worm silk cloth. Set it in bowl of warm water. Said and striker spell. Nothing. Not enough ambient magic for spell to effect. Scrying globe stayed dark. Useless.